Hello guys, welcome back to Owl003. Best remote viewing you're ever going to see is right here on Owl003. So please like, subscribe, share, and hit the notifications bell. And if you want to support the channel, please buy me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com. You can find the link in the description. And let's get started. So today, we're talking about world-class remote viewers. I hear this terminology a lot. Too much, in the field of remote viewing. So today we're going to talk about what is and what is not a world-class remote viewer. Okay, so first we need to get on the same page as far as what is the value of the remote viewing in its utilization. Okay, as an analyst, I don't really care about how immersive your experience is on the I don't. You see a lot of viewers, I was seeing this, or I feel this, or smoking. As an analyst, as usable remote viewing, don't care. It does not matter to me. If you're looking for an experience, go to the Monroe. We're looking for data on the sheet. That's all that really matters as far as quality of remote viewing, in my opinion, usability. Okay. I just want the data as an analyst or a project manager. At the end of the day, whether the impression comes out as a visual or as a sound or as a word that pops into your head, at the end of the day, from an analyst perspective, I just care about the words written on the page or the sketch. That's all that matters to me. Remote viewing as a usable, constructive tool is not designed to be a roller coaster experience or to plunge into your psychic immersion. Its purpose is to get as much data by non-local means as possible. And immersive has not now, nor has it ever equated to more data or more valuable data to the project, and it never will be. That's not how it works. You get, I got this visual line. That doesn't equate to more or valuable data. Never will. And the reason why I do this whiteboard up here is for the audience, not necessarily for the remote viewing. I mean, I do get a little bit more. I squeeze a little bit more out of it, but from an analyst perspective, they probably get enough out of my paper, okay? Now, all these methods, HRVG, TRV, CRV, whatever you want to, these are all perceptual filtering tools. That's all they are. So you're using your psychic ability to refine and get clearer perceptions, okay? Sorry. So if there's an established method out there that you're seeing results, it's probably going to work fine enough. And I would go to what you're drawn to, and it's going to come down to you as far as what puts you over the edge. It has nothing to do with those methods. Or very little, I should say. So what's valuable? Okay, accuracy is valuable. Do you hit the target 70% of the time? Do you hit the target 50% of the time? Do you hit the target 80%? And how much of that within that hit do you get right? So there's a lot of, accuracy percentages that vary within there. What kind of targets are you doing? Are you doing ARV? Are you doing verifiable training targets? Are you doing operational problem-solving targets? Are you doing missing persons, esoterics? That's going to vary by adding those questions. But an important thing for me as a remote viewer, what I like to see in my students and what operationally, is depth of information. Okay? How many quantifiable data points do you bring back to the target in its entirety? I mean, if you're laying out an event, okay, if that's the task, how much of the story did you tell within your own session? Are you popping around getting highlights? Or did you tell the whole story from the beginning to the end? As well as how often you do that, and how often are you willing to dig deep into that? So when I do a target up here for you guys, like these groups, they could share the load. just by kind of the nature of the system, they'll go in and get this piece, the other guy will go in and get this piece. But since I remote view for you guys by myself on these targets, I have to carry the whole story. So I have to dig a bit deeper so I could carry the whole thing from beginning to end. It's you know, it's not easy, but doable, learnable. So how deep you dig is directly related to the individual work ethic of the remote viewer. So if you're a minimalist in life and you come into remote viewing, you're not going to be some stellar knock it out of the park person, probably. So what I pride on myself, what I think separates me from most of the pack is not something innate within me or this, that, and the other. It's just I'm willing to dig. I'd rather swing for the fences and take a chance than leave something on the table. Okay. So some targets you can wrap up in 20, 30 pages. Other targets it takes more. Are you the type of individual who will do that additional digging, or are you kind of like, that's enough? That's what separates you. That's part of what separates you from the pack. Okay. Okay. As far as what I don't consider, I see this a lot. Okay, I see some instructors, even just operational remote viewers who are on camera. They have okay. There's energy, there's life, there's land. You know, like everything's symbolic, representative. It doesn't. It's like calling. It's like saying, "Hey, I made you a bowl of soup," and you go over to the bowl of soup, and it's just chicken broth. It's not really soup, is it? There's nothing in there. If you don't have any high-level data, and this is kind of like how you always do things, like you don't have to be an exceptional sketcher, but you can just by going in there, okay, this guy's got a beard, he's older, blah, blah, blah. This overgeneralization isn't worth a hill of beans. It just isn't. Like in the words of Shania Twain, that don't impress me much. So when I'm sure this is still going on. I don't pay attention to it because I'm out of those arenas. But you'll see a lot of, especially students coming out of the gate comparing CRV, HRVG, TRV, like, comparing their junk sizes. Well, let me tell you, I use CRV. Mine's bigger. It has nothing to do with the tool. It's the hard work. Okay? So, a world-class viewer in my mind is willing to take risks. If you say, oh, I've got a really high average, I haven't missed a target in a year, blah, blah, blah. But if you're really generalizing your data, like it's super general, if the purpose is to hit the ideogram, then I guess that's true. But as far as really remote viewing, I'm not impressed by that. Neither is anyone else. So you should always be willing to, world-class remote viewing should always be wanting to stretch the envelope of what could be accomplished. The mindset of a world-class remote viewer should be, my best and most accurate sessions are ahead of me, not behind me. So this is just my thoughts on this topic, and so this is, and I've seen generationally, remote viewers are getting better. I expect in the next 10 years, people coming out of the schools will be blowing people like myself and others in the field out of the water. And I'm excited about that. That's how it should be. To me, that means it's a sign of something interesting is happening in the human condition. But what's blatantly clear is you can see some of the session from decades ago and from the sessions today, remote viewers are taking it much further. It's just the way it is. So in some of the older regime that they're stuck, they kind of got stuck in what they do and what they know, and they put it on their mind that they could expand any farther. And I'm not saying developing tools or for to use to put an act and teach and all that, but you yourself have to want to grow. Okay, Otherwise, you're just another face in the crowd in this industry, in my opinion. So this is my thoughts on what is and what is not a world-class remote viewer, what those components are made of. So thanks for joining me. Like I said, like, subscribe, and share the content. Hit the notifications bell. And if you want to support the channel, by all means, please get on Buy Me a Coffee or hit the hyperlink in my description. And we can continue to grow together. Catch you next time on Owl 003.